Namaste. I bow to the divine presence in you. In today's Michelleology and Evolution meditation, I am Michelle and I am your motivator for this terrific triumphant Tuesday as we begin to expand our spiritual consciousness, our subconsciousness, and our super consciousness into this place in this atmosphere of expectancy. I don't know if you're sensing that, but there's an expectancy in the atmosphere, and how you charge it, negative or positive, is going to be based on excuse me, what your present energy is, where your chakras reigning, how are they activated, where are they focused on, what your intentions are. So as we begin this journey that we're taking today, even though we're on this faith journey, we're going to kind of connect the trust and the faith together to impact us with a greater way of operating on this journey, taking this journey with a positive way of looking at it. We have been totally engraced in the negativity, but it's time to reverse that. It's time to change that. It's time to go to a different dimension. Yes, so today we're going to go to our scripture in Proverbs, and it is going to be Proverbs, the 3rd chapter, beginning with the 5th verse, and it says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto your own understanding in your intellect head, but trust in God in your heart, in your intuition, in your inner being, in your inner knowing, in your inner standing. In all thy ways acknowledge him in your heart, in your intuition, and he shall," not might, "he shall direct your path." So when we're talking about trusting God, we sometimes get diverted, and we want to connect faith and trust together, because now faith is the substance. The substance is the wealth, the riches of God. So trusting God in his riches, in his wealth, in his all-knowing, in his all-power, in his all-greatness, is trusting the Lord in your heart. Now, let's talk about this. I talk a lot about your mentality, or your mental equation in your head. But today we're going to graduate. We're going to go from our head to our heart. When you were conceived in your mother's womb, you were actually conceived before your mother's womb, but when you came into the matrix to take this journey that we're taking in this land that is not our home, that we're just going through this place and this space on a journey, and we're promoting the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So as we take this journey, this trust journey, we are going to move from our head today to our heart. But when you were conceived, the first thing that developed in you was your heart. Now your heart, before you was in your mother's womb and you knew God, he had already developed your spiritual heart with him. So when you were seated into your mother's womb, which is the matrix, your heart was developed first, not your head. But within your heart is an intuition, which is that brain. Now, this is a spiritual brain that was developed in your heart. And so there in the middle of your heart is ear, E-A-R. This is where God speaks to you. So sometimes we've got to move from here to here first, and then connect this with this. So you have two brains. You have a brain here and you have a brain here. This is your spiritual brain. This is your physical brain or mentality. And so when we go here first and transfers it to here, then we're totally connected in trusting the Lord. So we've been told, or I've been told, maybe you haven't been told, but I've been told that you must be specific in your prayers. And so that comes along with it too. But when we are making our vision boards and we're putting a particular car or a particular house there, that is to our likings. But God will give you the desires of your heart. Not meaning that you say, God, this is what I desire, and he gives it to you. Let's look at it another way, that he will plant those desires in your heart. That is the divine plan. That is the divine connection. That is what God has for you. Now, he will not withhold any good gift from you. So you have to trust him. If you think you lost something, then you didn't need it because it wasn't that perfect gift for you. In order to trust God, you have to go into the divine mind and know that he is going to give you the perfect gift. He's going to design for you the perfect divine design that is for you. So we're going to have to shift in our praying. When he says, when I see you going in secret, that means going into your heart. And he said, when I see you there. He didn't say, when I hear you. He said, when I see you there. He says, when I see you trusting in me, in your heart, in your intuition, then I'm going to reward you openly. So what we have to do in our prayers for what's going on in the nation, we got to go in our heart. And regardless of who we like or who we don't like, we've got to go into the divine mind, into the divine plans. And we I can't even talk. We have got to begin to go forth on the divine plan. Not necessarily your human mind plan, but go into the divine plan. Now, when you go into the divine plan, he says, when I see you going in, I'm going to reward you openly. That's when the divine plan connects with the human plan, and it expels a manifestation of the divine ways that God has instructed for us. So he says, let's go back to the scripture. He says, trust in the Lord. Trust in the law of the Lord with all, not part of your heart. So trust entails totally being engrossed in the divine mind and the divine plan that has been purposed for your life. So if he knows before you even ask what you have need of, and he has stated he shall supply your need according to his riches in glory, his prosperity is unlimited. So are you really going to trust God? And in your prayers begin to say, God, thy will be done. When the disciples said, Lord, teach us how to pray, he said, you acknowledge your Father, our Father, which art in heaven. Heaven is not necessarily a geographical place. It can be. But right now we're talking about the divine plan. He said, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. As above, so below. As below, so above. The connection is what we're trying to get. The connection of a heart to a head to the manifestation. So when you trust God, that means if something doesn't come as you wanted it to be, but it comes as God has divinely planned it to be, that means that you are trusting God. So you're trusting this place called trust. This place where you know he's not going to do anything outside of good. You know he's not going to offer you anything outside of good. And we keep saying, why do I keep choosing the same people? Why do I keep choosing the same thing? Because you're not operating in the divine will. You're operating in the human intellect and not the divine intuition. Both of them begin with an I. So you got to go in so you'll never be without. So trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord. Whatever the divine plan is for this world, trust in the Lord, not in your politicians. Trust in the Lord, and in all your ways, if you acknowledge him in all your ways. How do you acknowledge him? In your prayer time, God, whatever your divine plan is, I will to be in that place, in that space, in that opportunity. I am in you and you are in me. And so I trust the plans you have already prepared for my life, that I expect the good. I expect the good. I expect the divine plan of good. I walk in it. I live in it. I breathe in it. I have my being in it. Whatever you have set up for me, I trust you. And so, in these next 44 days or so, as we walk out of this slavery and walk into our greatest substance is to have this connection with God, to be joined with God, to totally be in, all the way in, and trust in him. That's what trusting means. This place called trust, all the way in, not 1 foot out and 1 foot in, but all the way in. That's what trust is. That means there's no other option. I trust you, God, because you are the only power. There is not another power. Any other power is what I give energy to. But you trust in the Lord. Let me keep reading. This right here is taking me somewhere. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. There's no need for trial and error. There's no need for you to get hurt. I know they say no pain, no gain. But if I don't have to have pain to gain, why would I choose that? Okay. So, when we meditate today, when we get our first brain and mind together, and we connect with God, with everything is the foundation of love. Love is unconditional. So that means whatever you go into your heart, there is no condition. That means his ways are greater than our ways. So when you're walking in the all, you're leaving out nothing. So when we meditate today, we're going to move from here to here. And when you say you learn by heart, that means you plant it into your spiritual memory, into your subconscious. And as you plant that into your subconscious, whenever you need it, it comes up automatically. Yes, this place called trust. And so we're going to meditate. And then when we begin to meditate, we're going to experience the currency, the energy, the power of God. And we're going to walk through things with no fear, because that's not an option. Lost is not an option. Lack is not an option. We are ascending. And as we begin to ascend, as we begin to meditate on this triumphant Tuesday, on this Take It to the Top Tuesday, on this terrific Tuesday, we're going to operate in the trust. But we got to trust ourselves to trust God. You got to trust him in all thy ways. You got to acknowledge him in all thy ways. From what you put on in the morning to what you say to people. You got to walk in this trust. You got to be in this trust. So on this Triumphal Tuesday, yeah, we're in this place called trust. You don't have to be concerned or worried about anything if you're actually going to trust God. So the path that you take, your steps have been ordered. When are we really going to go in on the promises of God? He said your steps are ordered. He said if you acknowledge him in all thy ways, he's going to direct your path. And if he's directing your path, that means he is giving you already the things that he knows that are good for you. God is not choosing anything bad for you. That's not an option. It's an illusion. So when we focus on this, we get our mindsets together. We get our mindset together so that the heart mind can connect with the head mind, and then we can prophetically speak over our situations and know without a shadow of a doubt. Trusting is knowing without a shadow of a doubt that this thing, this divine plan, this divine mind will and shall come to pass. Well, this is Michelle, and I'm your motivator in this place called trust. Well, not having is not an option. And whatever you make as an option, that's what you produce for your present now. That's what you make real for your present now. Take the negative out. It's an illusion. Everything in Genesis God created was good. Let's walk in the good. And you can't have good without G-O-D. The only thing left is a zero. When you take the word good, you take G-O-D out of it, you have nothing left. Well, may the love, joy, power, peace, and your trust be your soul food for today. Get your soul back. It's been hijacked by the negativity of your surroundings, of your environment. Remember, you've been created by the Creator to be creative. So start creating your creations. Trust the Lord, because he's going to give you, he's going to plant in you the desires of your heart. That means you're totally joined with him. No outside interference necessary. Yes. Be blessed in this day. This is a moment you can breathe and say, wow. All I have to do is trust him. All I have to do is acknowledge my ways. Man, this is a meditation that will blow your mind. If you just meditate on the words that I've just said, it will blow your mind. It will turn you 360 degrees around. I keep talking because this thing called trust is on. It's on. It's on. Have a blessed day.